Hello everyone. Through this presentation today, we would understand when and how a court may discharge, vacate, or set aside an injunction order, focusing on statutory provisions and landmark judicial decisions. Rule 4, Order 39 of the Civil Procedure Code empowers the court to set aside, discharge, or vary the injunction order. Often we use the terms discharge, vacation, or setting aside interchangeably, but these terms differ slightly in legal effect and intention. For discharge, it means termination of injunction due to non-existence of ground. Vacations mean temporary withdrawal of injunction. Setting aside means nullifying the injunction order due to illegality or abuse. There are various grounds on the basis of which injunction can be discharged or vacated. First of all, it could be suppression of material facts, misrepresentation, or fraud by the plaintiff. Second can be if there is change in circumstances since the grant of injunction. Third could be the violation of the injunction terms and condition. Fourth one would be absence of prima facie case or irreparable injury to the plaintiff. Last one is public interest or abuse of the process of law. Since court grants injunction based on trust, therefore any abuse of this trust justifies withdrawal. Now, we would learn about certain case laws which have set precedent for the vacation of injunction. In case SP Chengalvarya Naidu versus Jagannath in 1994, court held that a person who comes to court must come with clean hands. Equitable relief like injunction cannot be granted to a dishonest litigant. In another case, A.Z. Papia Sastry versus Government of Andhra Pradesh in 2007, it was held that fraud vitiate all judicial acts. It means even a final order can be nullified if fraud is proved. Since temporary injunctions are dynamic, court may reassess them if the facts evolve and if it is found that there is change in circumstances, the injunction can also be vacated. It was held in Shipping Corporation of India versus Mashdo Brothers in 2004. In case Dalpat Kumar versus Prahlad Singh in 1992, it was held that there are three key principles for the grant of injunction, that is prima facie case, balance of convenience, and irreparable injury. If any of these conditions is absent, then that may warrant discharge of the injunction. For grant of injunction, all these three conditions must coexist. Absence of any one defeat injunction. Injunction is a discretionary relief and conditional compliance is mandatory. If the plaintiff violates court condition, the injunction can be vacated. This was so held in Prestige Lights Limited versus SBI in 2007. In case Morgan Stanley Mutual Fund versus Karthik Das in 1994, court held that ex parte injunction should be granted sparingly, only when there is urgency, full disclosure of the facts, and it can be granted for a limited duration. Court discouraged prolonged ex parte injunction without hearing the defendant. Mandatory injunction disturbs the status quo and therefore requires stronger justification. These injunctions are harder to grant but easier to vacate. Supreme Court in a landmark 1990 case, Dorabji Kavzi Warden versus Koman Sorab Warden, provided definitive guidelines for granting of a mandatory injunction. In case Gujarat Bottling Company versus Coca-Cola, it was held that injunction is not a matter of right, but of judicial discretion, and that discretion is based on conduct of the parties, equity and fairness, and public interest. To conclude, we can say that injunctions are equitable relief and are therefore subject to review by the court. The court has the power to vacate the injunction if it is found to be misused, so that it does not defeat the purpose of justice.
This series would be continued further to explain important aspects of injunction. This would be helpful to all the individuals, including professional in legal fields. Do continue to watch our series and share your feedback by way of comment. If found helpful, please like and share as much as possible and subscribe.